So if you watched my last video, it was the Mini 5 Pro and the Air 3S and a comparison of some things that I do for traveling and which one's better for me. Now, I ended up, if you remember in that video, the case for the Mini 5 was so big that I ended up choosing to bring the Mini 5 Pro along with me here to Bali, of all places. Now, there's enough room in that case to fit the Mini 4 Pro, and they use the same batteries. You could use the Mini 4 and the Mini 5. So I ended up taking both drones along with me, and in today's video, we're going to be checking out some of the differences between these two drones in, of all places, this beautiful Bali. Now, we're gonna start off with some B-roll in this golden hour, and I mean, let me just look at this place. This is just amazing. I'm in this rice field and I am all alone here. I do not have any neighbors, and it's something else.
Home point updated.
Okay, so this first test is going to show us quite a few different things. I'm going to run a hyperlapse different ways. I'm going to run one where it's the course lock. I'm going to run the circle one, and it is perfectly calm right now. So this is how it's been here. It's been super calm in the mornings, and then there's always a storm in the afternoon, and it gets quite windy. So I'm going to run tests now. I'm going to run tests this afternoon, and what we're going to learn is which one is more stable and gives a better image. We're going to learn which one has the longer battery life. I'm using the Fly More Plus battery in both of them. I don't have one in here right now, but I will. And it's also going to give me some feedback on the return to home accuracy. I have been having troubles with this, and there's been a few things that you guys have told me to try. One is hovering for, I think it was 20 seconds after takeoff, and the other one was to set my antennas up in a different way. So I'm going to try that, and we're going to see which one is more accurate and which one just pans out better. And my God, is it hot out. So I'm going to give this just the tiniest little mark here, and we're going to start off with the Mini 5 Pro. So in this test, I don't want you to focus so much on the image quality, as the light had changed a little bit because I have to fly these drones one at a time because I only have one remote. So we're looking at the stability and the course lock. I have both of these drones set at 0.1 meter per second, and the rest of the image settings are identical. Now, when we move into the vertical video, we have changed to 0.3 meters per second, and I ran both of the drones until they were out of battery. So when it comes time to return home, the Mini 5 has a little trick up its sleeve, and that is dynamic home point. Something that if you turn on, it will follow the remote around and keep updating the home point, which is great for if you're in cars or in a boat. And with the Mini 4, you have to update it manually by the controller or by the aircraft. So we got exactly 38 minutes, which is super consistent with all the other tests that I've done with this thing. It's been right around 38 minutes. But now we're going to see how well it comes home. See if it hits its mark. That's where it's trying to land, down here. And the mark is right here. So we're, say, about 5 feet away from the mark, but I'll just bring it home on my own. Another fail on the return to home. I mean, it's close, but no cigar. See, what it would have done is it would have landed right there on that ditch. And then I brought it there, but the mark is right here, so not the best. Good morning. And here comes the pool guy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
In the pool.
Okay, I was cleaning it.
Yeah.
So it's not that dirty.
Yeah.
Because I've been.
What's your name?
My name's Matt.
My name is Smile. My name is Wayan.
Wayan.
Yeah, Wayan.
Nice to meet you. Do you want to be in my video here?
Yeah.
Wayan, the pool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's caught me in my drone
Yeah.
tutorials here. So yeah, come on in, Wayan.
Yeah.
I've been picking the leaves out of the pool, so.
Yeah.
So I'll be taking off from the exact same spot with a Mini 4. I am slightly disappointed in the Mini 5 again, but that's what I've been getting. The return to home has not been 100% accurate, and in some cases it's been way off. In the past, I've had no complaints with this guy. He's been rock steady, just bang on. It's the best. So we'll see if it can do it again here. Okay, so we got the return to home here at 9:53. So that is 37 minutes. Now we'll see how well this guy comes home. 37 minutes, 9:53, 9:26. 37 minutes, so that's real close. That is super close to the 38 minutes that the Mini 5 had. Here we go. Right, so that is almost exactly the same spot. You see my mark there, and that is almost exactly the same spot that the Mini 5 tried to land. No points awarded for either of them. Little surprised with that one. In all my other tests, it was bang on. There we got another return to home. It didn't make its 750 pictures. Now it's 10:30, so that's only 26 minutes this time, with a little bit more wind and the circle lapse, but it's a lot closer to the home point this time. 39. It's hard to believe, but that is the number in Canadian dollars that I am spending per night for this fantastic little villa nestled deep in the outskirts of Ubud here in Bali. Look at that. See the little black dot? All right, so there, Mini 4. Mini 4, there's the black dot. That's about 6 inches away this time. That's the Mini 4 Pro, I remember. See if the Mini 5 can do that on its second try.
Aircraft will return to the home point in 10 seconds.
So there we go, 11:10. That is 37 minutes. So that Mini 4 did the circle lapse in 26 minutes. That's 11 more minutes with this Mini 5. I kind of want to run that again. See what was up with the Mini 4. But here comes old Bucky. See if she can land on the dot this time. It is very close. Okay. There's the dot. But what happened there is I had to auto hold it down because it was trying to land. I didn't move it at all, I just held down, but it probably saw that trough and didn't like it. Maybe I should move the dot more in the middle, but that's a lot better than the last one. Trending forwards, not backwards, upwards, not forwards. When it comes down to slow motion between these two drones, the Mini 5 Pro is capturing life at 120 frames per second, while the Mini 4 captures it at 100 frames per second. Now, I thought I had a couple of different ways to show this, and I figured I would use these little water troughs in the rice field rather than a fat guy jumping into the pool, which probably wouldn't be so good for the algorithm. So here's a look at what the Mini 4's 100 FPS looks like, and I have corrected it to the 30 frames per second timeline. And this is what the Mini 5 Pro looks like at its 120 frames per second. So the reason why the Mini 5 looks a hair slower here is because DJI is now saving the files at 30 frames per second versus 25 frames per second on the Mini 4. Now that 25 frames per second is what they run in Europe and 30 frames per second in North America. I'm in Indonesia, so I'm not quite sure what kind of frames I'm supposed to be running, but if you want the Mini 4 to run true on a 30 frames per second timeline, you have to speed it up 120%. Now, one of the ways that the Mini 5 blows the Mini 4 out of the water is its ability to zoom in 2 times, essentially giving you but they claim a 4K image at 2x zoom, cropping in on the sensor. Now, the Mini 4 Pro can also zoom in 2x, but you don't get that 4K look like you do with the Mini 5. And this is what that looks like. If you're visiting Bali in November, specifically Ubud, where I'm staying, be prepared for super hot, beautiful mornings, followed by afternoon thunder showers daily. Holy smokes! This storm just came out of nowhere. I didn't even get the wind warning. I was hoping I'd be able to fly the 2 drones in the wind before the storm came this afternoon, but no dice. It went from a calm to this. Wild. So this time I'm parked on a little tuft of grass for home point that's a little further away from the trough. I'm gonna let it hover for a little while right above the home point, and I got my antennas out nice and good. So you'll have to forgive me for the wind test. The only steady winds I had here so far is when the storms are bellowing down on me. But the Mini 4 Pro has a 10.7 meter per second wind resistance, while the Mini 5 has a 12 meter, which is right up there with the Air 3S and the Mavic 4 Pro. Turn around nice. Find the grass, you little sucker. It's looking pretty good. You nailed it that time, you beautiful little glimpse of hope. Oh boy, this time the return to home is way off. It's way up there. And I took off from this little tuft of grass. This is the Mini 5 problem. So the battery on this Mini 5 is toast, and I will be charging all 3 of them to see how quick they charge, because this is important. I was using the Fly More Plus batteries for the Mini 5 Pro, as well as the Fly More Plus batteries for the Mini 4 Pro. Both are ready for charging, and let's check out how quick it takes. Okay, so here's the deal. Charging can be very controversial, and they can be achieved in many different ways. So here's the 2 different Fly More Plus batteries, and they are both just about empty. Now, they're not super dead, they're return to home dead, so they've probably got between, say, 10 and 13-14% left in each battery, but that's typically how I charge the batteries. DJI claims the Mini 4 power hub here will charge at 30 watts, and the Mini 5 Pro, they say, will charge at 65 watts, so it should be quite a bit faster. I've got one 50-watt charger and one 45-watt charger, and both of the cords are identical, and they are 45-watt charging cords, so both of these hubs should be receiving 45 watts. However, the Mini 5 should be taking all 45, and the Mini 4 should be taking only 30 of those beautiful watts. And just another little blurb here on the Mini 5 Pro, which is super awesome. If you hold the power button on for a few seconds, what it's going to do is it's going to suck all the juice from the lightest 2 batteries, and it's going to send it to whichever battery is closest to being charged. So if you fly your batteries down to like 30%, you might end up with a full battery if you got 2, 3 kind of not quite drained batteries. Very handy. So all the power into one. Good job, DJI, my good friends. With the Mini 5, there has been some significant improvements in the flight performance. And what we're going to check out now is the top speeds of both these drones in the sport mode. And also my favorite is to crank the gain in expo tunings so that you have the maximum velocity while still using the optical avoidance. And I have tested this out with the Mini 5 Pro accidentally, and I've had some pretty extreme obstacle avoidances with this one here, almost hitting these trees at over 40 kilometers an hour. My last video, I got some feedback on the startup times with the Air 3S versus the Mini 5 because I didn't have the fold to turn on or unfold to turn on the drone arms. That's just not the way I like to start it up, but just for you guys, I will test it out. And not only is it gonna be interesting to see the different times, but it's also gonna be interesting to walk there. I've been flying this drone, both these drones around these rice fields for the last 3 or 4 days. So I'm gonna head somewhere new where I don't have to worry about activating and locking onto the satellite already. Oh no, super unlucky. I'm going past you. Somebody needs to chop your nuts. Oh, jeez. There's a dog on the roof. That's crazy. Okay, so this looks like the spot here. That's crazy walking here. Those dogs are nuts, but let's check out these power-ups here for the drones. I'm gonna start here with the Mini 4 and see how long it takes me, and I'm gonna try to get it to start up as quick as I can. So this is how I would do it if I was trying to do it fast. Let's go.
Home point updated.
Oh, 23 seconds. Okay, that was a lot faster. 30 seconds faster. It was about 53 seconds. Good test. That's why we do these things. This is normally the part in the video where I would go over the active tracking on a vehicle, but since I've come here to Bali, I've realized that I'm not going to be renting a car, much less trying to film myself driving with a drone. These roads are just too small. There's no real speed involved. The traffic is downright wild for the most part. It's even hard to walk. But luckily, I've tested the Mini 5 against both the Mini 4 and the Air 3S back at home, and this is what I found. The Mini 4 struggled quite a bit for me when I was doing active track driving a vehicle around. I had taken it to the Philippines and it just couldn't quite keep up with me, and it does a lot of funky moves and doesn't want to lock on and track through. So when I tested that Mini 4 against the Air 3S, I found the top speed was around 40 kilometers an hour for the Mini 4 before it totally lost track. And before that, it was doing the funky chicken. Now, I also tested the Mini 5 against the Air 3S, and they were darn near neck and neck, with Mini 5 grabbing and holding on till about 44 kilometers an hour. So after a long day, the last test we're gonna do, or flight test we're gonna do with these guys, is the low light mode. Now today we've got a full moon, which is pretty super cool. It's gonna help out with this low light, but there's a couple different things you have to know here. The Mini 4's got a specific night mode that you're supposed to use for night shots where it can boost the ISO, whereas the Mini 5 Pro has all of this built in, just like the Air 3S, so you don't have to worry about changing it, which is kind of cool. And I actually forgot to change it, so I shot everything without the night mode, and then I shot it again with the night mode. So a bonus for you guys and for myself, I'll run both of those footages here so you can see the differences between the night mode and the not night mode here on the Mini 4. And another thing that is super awesome and eons ahead of the Mini 4, the Mini 5 has the LiDAR, so the obstacle avoidance at night. Now it's only on the front, but it does work, and I flew this one first so I could test the treetops and which height I needed to get so I wouldn't bump into any of these trees with the Mini 4 Pro. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I sure enjoyed making it. I always have a ton of fun making these videos, and I learn a lot. And I'm looking forward to sharing more and more with you. Now, before we go, there is one more thing that the Mini 5 Pro can do that the Mini 4 just can't, and that is this gimbal roll. I'm the Jaunting Ape. Keep on traveling. and the world is yours.